This is Parkside Offices 202 West 5th Avenue, which is on Ash Street. Mr. Lynn Miller. Lynn Miller is a business owner, a multi-billionaire, multi-millionaire. He's a millionaire, now he's a billionaire because I'm Felix Barela on this property at 202 Fifth Offices. I made witnesses, testimony, children, siblings, police officers, FBI agents, CIA agents, military staff, and I just told him to go kill himself because I'm not getting the address of nobody. Nobody. No information to nobody. Prudent facts. I lay on this bed. All individuals question me. Of course, I beat these charges several times. Several times. I run thousands of pounds, millions of people. Now it's billions because McDonald's, Burger King, Carl's Jr.'s, and the mall, Simon's Mall, the biggest mall on this planet. Even Canada Services provides for Simon's Mall because I live in the state of Washington. And Canada and Idaho and also Oregon State love business with Felix Barela. They love business with Felix Barela because you know why? Because you got guys coming to DHCPS office asking for services and they walk out with millions of dollars because they got a businesses branching out. And this is for lease, 509-750-7496. And Mr. Brandon West, John Cooney Law Firm, moved his building to 910 West Garland, now to Indiana, Boston Pizza Restaurant Gourmet. Now this lease says 509-750-7496. This loft on YouTube, Facebook, is also the services and also the garbage can that's caught on fire by individuals trying to catch this house, this tree, this whole block on fire at Beach 5th and also the front versus Ash Street. Now the fence line was totally destroyed. And again, these officers unsuccessfully attacking Felix Barela. Parkside Offices 202 West 5th Avenue. A white laptop has been destroyed and another laptop. And that's the best laptop service that you can provide for their services. And it's HP, and they also have another Packard HP. This Packard and this other series is worth $1,500. This beautiful laptop, and that's a Surface Microsoft programs. And Mrs. and Mrs. Lynn Miller, Mrs. Liz Listen, and the Secretary of Staff, Mrs. Teresa and Mrs. Lynn Miller at number 1, sit there and watch the individual locks, business locks, accessory locks, key locks, negative locks, drop safe locks, vault softs, drop safe softs, and vaults for the FDIC. Chase Bank, which is Donald Trump, Mr. Billionaire. And Mr. Billionaire Administration Office is Lynn Miller. Lynn Miller has accounting services that are increments connected to the Department of Licensing. Department of License number and the registration UBI number 60272 is arraigned at Mr. and Mrs. and Miller's Locksmith and also Miller's Jewelry, and that's Amber, and that's Todd Levette. Todd Levette has a system for insurance coverage for the U.S. Marine Corps called the Merchant Marines. The Merchant Marine Corps, they have an insurance policy called Levette Sloan, in which is Sloan Slovers. And this is Mr. Len Miller. This Miller has Mrs. Teresa and also Mrs. Miller. For the services they provide, they have business owners. This Benson Funeral Home right across the street. Benson Funeral Home has been here for a long, long time. Ever since George Washington walked on this planet, called the Freda Courthouse, Grant County Prosecutor Office, and also the administration, Columbia River and the Snake River, where all the Indian reservations and prominent reservations are called landmarks. Mrs. Lynn Miller is a prominent business owner here in Moses Lake, Washington, on a part of a Mr. Donald Trump and Lynn truck at International Airport in Moses Lake, where I'm outside with Donald Trump, walking outside and exercising. Now 8131 Social Security office is Klamath, Cincinnati, where I had over $7,000 on my personal belongings, my laptop. My laptop has information, permanent information that was over at Data Law Firm, and this is Basin Locksmith 509-765-8346. Basin license number is BASIL5933DAK. That's Fabian Barela, Fabian Carey Barela, and the administration of the Clover Island over in Kennewick Police Department, Kennewick City Hall, PODKIE, and also the labor ready, now moved on to Clearwater Services. Now we got a financial advisor here. We have several individuals that witnessed all the fence lines that was damaged. This whole fence line was damaged and bent and bowed for purposely of destruction and prudent destruction of property, Moses Lake property, Othello property, Kennewick, Richland, Pasco property, pretty much because the UBI number is connected. Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, Kennewick, and also the Tacoma and federal court Jadwin on Jadwin. It's because they went to court against all these adversaries because these keys are made here in Lynn Miller's office. Now, Lynn Miller witnessed me, Donald Trump, and outside at International Moses Lake, Washington. I got to go to court, and this adversaries are starting problems at Parkside's offices. So we got pretty much all the homeless people out of the district at 202 Parkside. The electrical box have been pulled out. The electrical box is blocked out, so we don't have homeless people sitting here at the patio step at 202 Parkside. And of course, he's an old man picked on by juvenile delinquents, 50 old men, 50, 40, 30, 20-year-old men, 18-year-olds, teenagers, no teenagers, just 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, and 60-year-olds. Intimidate this old man with the truck, and he runs the prominent area of not dealing with the situation, but you know what? The services provide Grant POD, Benton POD, Avista Utilities, Natural Cascade, and 200 at Mueller's Funeral Home. Mueller's Funeral Home, which is J. Mueller, Amy Mueller, and I drove Amy Mueller and J. Mueller around in a Suburban. And this is the audit box and a propane line that's connected to the business office. And Lynn Miller has been here since Eric Benson Funeral Home's been in business, and our business has been around for 200 years. And we never heard of this fence line being so damaged, and also the loft getting caught on fire and the house next door getting caught on fire. A bunch of damaged material and all around the area. And these adversaries, Jay Mueller, really don't like none of them. And he owns the entire property. That's George Washington's house, Georgia's property and estate. So the services they provide here, pretty unbelievable. They pick on this old man. Pick on this old man. Everybody come in here and pick on this old man. They pick on Jay Mueller. They pick on the Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney. They pick on the Secretary of State. They pick on Senator McCain and Roberta McCain and Roberta and Lola Hernandez. And I went to 202 West Parkside, 5th Avenue, and that's some download system. So we're going to wait for this bus and go to Freda Courthouse with Melissa McKnight and also the assessor prosecutor's office, and that's Garth, and Jennifer, which is on the phone with Andy Miller and me at the Parkside offices. And we have the Felice and also Brandon West on the phone for phone records. Now these services provided Mrs. Donald Trump and Mr. Fred at Mueller's Funeral Home. Fred is dead now. Fred coordinated for Columbia Basin College, where Stephen Hernandez was killed as a United States Marine. This United States Marine was killed among thousands of Marines. killed among thousands upon thousands Marines. These thousands Marines have no names. These thousands upon thousand Marines have no names, no social security number, no driver's license, and no destination date and location on hubs. I know these Marines were killed in public and dragged out in public and broadcasted on the news and lowered and opened in several areas, unknown to this day. So this old man was picked on by 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, and older men. And Lynn Miller, star witness, Teresa and Mrs. Miller, Andy Miller, and also the prosecuting office and recommendation office. Andy Miller knows Mr. Felix Barela, little boy, when Liz and Dick Cheney lived across. We have Liz Cheney across the street painting this loft out, misusing the system, misusing the Social Security office. Social Security office has been moved 3 different times. Gage Boulevard, and Klamath, Cincinnati, Kennewick, Washington for the time. Helicopter at Columbia Park. The body remains removed at Columbia Park. Moved in the helicopter, why helicopter? Because we know this, because we own it when we live here. And this Parkside office, right across from the GTA office. This bus driver told me to use the curbside, use a different route. Instead of these officers harassing the employees, staff members, here at the GTA office, we got police officers, sheriffs, and other officers intimidating the employees of the GTA office and the GTA at 5th Division, and also at the truck stop and the bus stops in the areas. And we're gonna take a different. He's gonna drop me off. He's gonna drop me off at the India cuisine, the India family of Ajmer Singh Nijjar, Ajmer Singh Sangh Nijjar. Cimaron 5IC, Baker Pioneer Restaurant, Sunset Acres, 700 South, 262200. And we're going to broadcast this. We're going to go live on this for the GTA office here. And the GTA services here contacted the GTA that I was catching a bus number 10. The number 10 route and number 20 to connect to the Freda courthouse. And John Hernandez, Lola Hernandez worked for Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney and Sandy Strong, the commissioner of Benton County, Washington State. The cherry tree was a bunch of angry immigrants, Muslim, black, white people attacked Roberta Barela at the cherry tree. Belongs to Mueller's property called cherry trees and peace trees. Same tree they tried killing Felix Barela across the street with. Beautiful landmark, Mr. Benson. Thousands upon thousands Marines were killed. Thousands upon thousands Air Force active duties were killed. And this is Social Security office. 2 locations, Gage and Kennewick, and the third one's on Klamath. First name, last name, South Dakota on it. It ain't black, ain't white, and Muslim. It ain't black and a nigger. How'd you say they call them niggers? Niggers. Muslims, Chinks, Koreans, Filipinos, Norwegians. And Lynn Miller lives here, and he's been here, and he runs on entire property. They have guys that pull up here starting problems with the owners. They have problems picking the owners upon others, owners. And I've been here since 1972, October 21st, 1972. And that's Lick Cheney, Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney, and also the administrative judge Eugene F. Pratt, and out the Vietnam veterans, Army, Navy, and that's the Pentagon. And the arrangements and orders of funeral, double clamp banners, and also the granite stones, headstones, and plaques. And the Mr. Soderman's plaque on the Muslim and marks marked and moved off the niches. So we're going to relocate the situation since Social Security office has been moved 3 different locations, they're different places. And I live here and own it. And they won't come out and face up to the music. This is a lease agreement, 509-750-7496. That's Sandy Strong. That's Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney. That's the administration office and the bar association. They just barred thousands upon thousands of Marines, killed thousands of Marines, and they're on known graves and slots, and there's no way helping out Mr. Len Miller here at the locksmith office, because he engraved and processed our jewelry, Mr. Todd Levitt, U.S. Marine Merchant for insurance companies they called Sloan Levitt. Base insurance company where officers just parked their vehicles and attacked Felix Barela. December 3rd, 2018. December 3rd, that's Senator McCain's debut of campaign of blowing Japan up, nuking Japan with little boy and fat boy. Little boy and fat boy nuking Japan for the second time. We got signatures in Senator McCain's address, first name, checks accounts, and he's a Vietnam vet. The vet hospital and the Vietnam VFD, he owns all that. So Mr. Len Miller, let's get a straight broadcast on this one, 5th and Ash.